Salutations, my fellow dandies! It's me, Jack Dandy, and we are back in Final Fantasy XIV for the Stormblood main story quest. Main scenario quest. I always got story quest. Where's main scenario quest? Salutations, chat. Salutations, Revatron. Good to see you. I hope you're fine and dandy today. 14's treating me well. It's treating me well. I think we're coming up to the end of the main Stormblood expansion. We've just done an assault on, and I've written it down, Specula Imperatoris. You can understand why I needed to read that, because I'm not going to remember that. And our boy Conrad, he didn't make it. So, and as you can see, I'm dealing with Conrad's passing well. I mean, I anticipated that he was going to die because he was introduced. They introduced like a handful of characters in this expansion, and it's kind of like, you know that they're red shirt characters, that they've been introduced so you can get used to them, and then they can kill them off for dramatic effect. Looking at you, Harshafon, my boy. Still sad about him. I am dealing with it very well indeed. But yeah. Let's get out of photo mode. So yeah, like I said, I'm looking at the number of missions left. I don't think we're going to finish Stormblood this week. Apart from anything else, like, I imagine the final mission in Stormblood is going to be like an hour long, if the one from Heavensward and Around Reborn or anything to go by. But we can at least get close enough to it that next week we can kind of enjoy the end of Stormblood at a relaxed pace. So I've been playing since Heavensward, and I'm like, Harshafon, no. I know. It was... He kind of snuck up on me, because when he was first introduced, I was like, oh, he's just another NPC character, you know, doing missions for us for a little while. And then he came back, and then he just kept coming back, and before I knew it, I got attached to him, and then they shot him with a laser. And they shoot all of my favourite characters with lasers. Moonbreeder as well. I was just about starting growing attached to her, and then boom, laser to the chest. But the thing is as well, is it's like, I know certain characters will survive to certain expansions because they have triple triad cards, and so it's like there's not a lot of drama with some of these characters because I know, well, they've got either triple triad cards or they've got action figures from Endwalker. Looking at you, Stoller. So I know that they're going to survive. But so the tension's low on older characters generally. But Monago, I'm looking at you. That shirt's very red right now. So. Oh, you like Moonbreed? Oh, you're ephemera in the game because of her. Yeah, she was great. I'm worried about Kryl. I think Kryl's okay, but she is currently in a box or something. I try not to obviously look stuff up as best I can, but like I said, when they literally say to you, "Hey, here's the Endwalker triple triad card for getting this achievement," and it's like, well, okay, I guess that guy's still alive till then. It's difficult to avoid those ones, but yeah. I try not to post too much more FF14 stuff because I don't want you accidentally get spoiled. I mean, so long as it's not anything like people have been posting Endwalker spoilers, but because I'm so far removed from Endwalker, I can't quite grasp the spoiler. So I'm sure I've seen some Endwalker spoilers, but they haven't settled. So long as it's not explicit, it's fine. But anyway, let's see what Alphina's thoughts are. The question on how to move forward in Conrad's absence looms large in Alphina's mind. Have we not? At least. Oh no, maybe I think we were talking to Conrad about Lise becoming the new leader, and she's. But I don't think we've actually confirmed it with Lise yet. Again, a thing that was spoilt for me because her costume is in the FF14 store. And it's like, oh, okay. I guess that's how this expansion goes then. Great, thanks. which is fine because I like Lys, but you skipped a lot of Stormblood because you didn't like the expansion. I have heard Stormblood's like the weakest, although some people have said that Shadowbringers is the weakest. So I definitely agree. Compared to I definitely like Stormblood less than Heavensward, although Stormblood has more characters I like because Gosetsu and I'm terrible with names. Samurai Boy, Hien, that's his name. Gosetsu, Hien, Yotsuya, the lady villain. I think that was her name was Yotsuya. They're all great. I love all them. Whereas Heavensward's Estinian was great. I like Estinian. He's basically Final Fantasy Batman. I love him. He's such an amazing edgelord. Oh, and I liked Iceheart too, actually. So maybe and I liked Harshaphon. So maybe there were a few Heavensward characters I liked, actually, thinking about it. But the story was definitely better in Heavensward. I'm less invested in saving Alamigo. It doesn't help that the main villain is like a pretty boy with long hair, and I'm looking forward to killing him, but they've done a good job of building him up as someone I want to die. Shadowbringers, what back in the game? Oh yeah, Gosetsu. Yeah, who is dead. Again, I think he comes back because it's so hard to avoid spoilers. I don't know for definite though, but he is currently crushed under a building. So there was a couple of NPCs every X-Pack you love. Yeah, they do a really good. The characters, they do a really good job of making you like the characters, which is great. But I do wish they would then. I don't know. It's sort of because you get used to you like the characters, but then because the characters are popular, they then seem to just they never die, and then there's no peril. I don't know. I think if they killed main characters off more frequently, although I suppose they killed off what's their chops from Around Reborn, and I don't know. You know, there's still plenty of characters I don't know the fate of, so maybe I'm talking about something I don't know anything about. So. Yeah, Papalima. Yeah, Papalima came out of nowhere. Yeah, actually, no. Papalima's a good point. He did come out of nowhere. I was expecting Papalima to stay around for a while. It's a shame because I like doing Papalima's voice. And I mean, Ida. We never technically knew Ida. I mean, it was always Lys. But I will say I thought Lys was cooler when she had the mask on. Anyway, let's crack on because we've got. Like I said, I want to try and get far enough ahead today that next week can be kind of comfortable. So that's what we've got. All Alliance and Resistance units have now withdrawn from Specula Imperatorius. It is time we spoke with General Aldin. Oh, okay. We could have been standing over by the table for that, I feel like. We were hanging outside the front door there for a long time. No, nothing to apologise. I'm happy to have someone to talk to about... because it's because no one in real life, as I put it, likes this game. So I only have chat to talk with Final Fantasy XIV about. So it's nice. These deaths weigh heavy on my soul. Commander Kemp's most of all. He was a wise leader, although he was a patriot. But above all else, he was a good man who will be sorely missed. What of men who lost this day? I ask for a moment's silence to pray for the souls of the departed. We have suffered a grievous defeat, but we cannot and will not renounce this cause. The die has been cast. Did you disappear for just me? I hope not. I think I'm still connected. Yeah, no, I'm still here. I'm still here, relatively unique. Okay, good. OBS is normally quite good at telling me when I, yeah, best reload. You're a very, very, very deep lore lover for this game. You will get on well with Sotratus if he shows up at any point. He's normally the guy who fills in the lore for me with all the stuff that I miss, because my attention wanders sometimes, but I get the most of it, and I do like the lore. So, welcome back, Relatively Unique. Or rather, hello, Audible advert. Yeah, sorry, I can't do anything about those. I have no power over the Twitch adverts at the start of a stream. Hold tight to this grief, this anger, and let it drive you forward. Let it be your strength and your shield when next you face the enemy. It will carry us far, General. Of that I have no doubt. Ere we take another step forward towards Alamigo, however, we must first address the question of how to deal with Castrum Albania's cannon. If the Imperials are willing to employ the weapon without thought for their own soldiers' safety, we may struggle to approach them. I'm well worth the adverts, am I? Thank you. That's kind for the kind words. A frontal assault is out of the question. We'd lose countless men before we even reach the walls. Just send me. I'll sneak in the back and I'll stab that. I can't remember her name, but I'll stab her in the back. I'll get Cryle back at the same time. Thancred can back me up. He's in there. Just tell me how Thancred got in there. I'll follow him. There must be like a back door or something. Would we? Recall that the Imperials could... I went a bit too high with Pippin's voice, though. Recall the Imperials could have obliterated our forces had they kept firing, but neglected to do so. I can't... All I want to do, now that I know that Pippin's voice actor is the same as... Monado, Shulk. All I want to do is just say, the Monado, every time Pippin talks. They have no strategic reason to cease fire, which begs the question, why did they? You suspect they were unable to fire the cannon again, mayhap due to a malfunction. Maybe it just takes a while to charge, like the Death Star. Or one of their officers found his conscience after the first barrage. Or a heretofore unknown resistance faction chose that moment to disable it. That sounds like Crichton. It's that kind of voice, yes. There are many possibilities, but the fact remains that they stopped when logic dictated they continue. Then I'll just have to go and see for myself if the cannon is still operational. Are you mad? Conrad put you in charge of the resistance. Okay, no, she is. She did put him in charge. He did put her in charge, even. We can't risk losing another commander so soon. I know how you feel, Nago, I do. But I need you to understand. It wasn't long after Papalemon arrived in Rauga's Reach that Conrad first asked me to join the resistance. And then he kept on asking. No, I just want to watch Red Dwarf again. They just announced a new series of that. I'm a few series behind on Red Dwarf, though. I need to catch up. Every time I said no, I told myself it was because of the Scions. But even then, I knew deep down that it was an excuse. That I was still afraid of following my heart, because I couldn't be sure if it was for me or for Ida. But then I met someone on the other side of the world who had struggled with the same worries, and as we travelled and fought together, I saw him grow and become the leader his people needed him to be. And now it's my turn to do the same. There's a lot of us left, and of the ones that are, many are still wounded. We have to make do with what we've got, and I'm the best qualified. It's as simple as that. But don't worry, Nago, I'll come back, I promise. I don't know that Lise is the best qualified, but I mean, like I said, I like her, so fine. She'll do. I mean, Rauban's right there. But I guess he is the leader of one of the Eorzean factions, so probably busy. Pippin's free? Put Pippin in charge. Well, I acknowledge Commander Heck's right to carry out this mission. I see no reason why she should do it alone. Jack, would you go with her? Would have done it even if you hadn't asked, sir. I thought I was just going to nod. That's normally my go-to response to any question. Watch me play Red Dwarf. I wish there were more Red Dwarf games, other than that weird mobile game. Then it is settled. We will await your return. What are we doing? Oh, I need to speak with Lise. She's going to tell me to get off the table. Nope. Damn it. I always miss when I'm trying to talk to people. Sorry to drag you into this, Jack. It may not be the decision Conrad would have made, but I'm not Conrad. I never will be. I know. I don't know what kind of leader he was hoping for, but right now all I can do is be myself. Oh, hang on. I can't give up on that 3% inventory Let's eat this shore log I've had sat here for a while. Need that extra 3% XP for being well fed. I don't want a gunblade. I don't want some chakram, so I'll take some materia. No, more stuff I don't want. Okay. If you don't mind, I'd rather not wait around and have people try to talk me out of it. Let's get moving. I know a good vantage point overlooking the castrum. Nunkrep's Hope. Nunkrep's Hope. The ship's stranded on the rocks to the east of here. It shouldn't take us long to get there. Oh, but there might be some ancient golems guarding it. Or that might just be an old wives' tale. Either way, it's worth the risk. If they're on the field, we can just run past them. That's what I normally do with stuff on the field. Lys, Commander, I pray you proceed with all due caution. Do not hesitate to call upon us if needed. To reach the ship, we'll have to scale the cliff face. I'll get some climbing gear and meet you there. All right. Oh, this is why I can't fly here yet. I did try and unlock flying between last week and this, but obviously this is why I couldn't. I'll use one of my mounts, though. What have I got? Chocobo. What server am I on? Yes, I'm on Moogle. It's one of the European servers. I chose it because I like Moogles. That was... And when I registered, all of the servers offering extra XP for new people were closed. So I was like, okay, guess I'll just choose one with a name I like. So I'm on Moogle, which I think is on Chaos. I can't remember what server it's on, but. Oh! So I wasn't paying attention there. Oh, hang on, let's get my bird out. There we go. Out of practice, pressing the wrong buttons. I did. I mean, Lys did just like 10 seconds ago warn me that this thing was here, and I just completely ignored it. This is what I mean. Sometimes I get distracted. There we go. Bleh. Okay, well. Let's wait again. Oh, you're on the 8th data center. I'm guessing... You're in Australia, right? So I'm guessing that's a... Australia or Asia? Australasia data center? I don't know the data centers very well. Oh, you're on the American servers. Okay. Need to open up the data center transport all over the world. Yeah, I have no need to do it myself, but I've heard that the data transfer stuff hasn't been going super smoothly. They've been hit with a lot of DDoS attacks and stuff. All my friends are all over on the North American servers, yeah. Salutations to Stratus. Oceania, thank you. That's the server I was thinking of. I knew there was one for that part of the world, because they just opened that with Endwalker, didn't they? I remember reading that. That was one of the things that I read. Pretty sure. Sorry to keep you waiting. I see you've met the golems. Looks like the old stories were true, eh? In a way, I'm glad. Right then, time to climb. I mean, if you find me one more Aetheryte current, or we can just fly over, though. I have a bird. I have several birds. And griffins. Do you remember the bird we unlocked earlier from doing that? Remember me and you did that trial, and we both got a giant bird? I know it's not the most... In fairness, it is a giant bird. It's probably not the most subtle way to sneak into an Imperial base. So no, fair enough. Maybe let's climb the rock. Let's climb the rock. Yeah, it was recent. Oh, you went to Oceania, but there was no housing market board, and it was all messed up, so you went back to America and just take the ping. Fair enough. Yeah, I guess a new server probably does take a little while to spool up. Whew, that took a bit more out of me than I expected. Oh, it's a good thing this weird dog robot sat here isn't turned on or anything. What a terrible guardian. And here she is, Nyunkep's Hope. Oh, okay, this isn't the Imperial base. The ark that one man made to save countless others from the flood during the 6th Umbral era. It's comforting to think that there have always been people who cared this much about their fellow man, who accomplished such great feats that people couldn't help thinking they must be made up. But the proof's right here, isn't it? You're right, Lise. I should have them build a statue of me when there's a quiet time, so that future generations will have proof that I existed. I don't just mean this ship, you know. I mean you. Long before anyone started calling you a hero, you were there for those in need. You did things for people when you didn't have to. I mean, they did pay me, and I needed I needed the money for, like, food and, like, a house. So it wasn't that noble. Sometimes even when they didn't want you to. Yeah, new server, everything's been messed up for a year or more. Europe was the same way, was it? Oh, I didn't realise that I didn't have European servers at launch. I figured that would have been standard. I only started playing this last year, so everything was all kind of... Yeah, the ball was very much rolling when I picked this up. So... Oceania might be longer since it's a less populated server. I have, of course, done the Hildebrand quest. I've done the Realm Reborn and the Heavensward Hildebrand quests. I will do the Stormblood ones once I've finished all of the post Stormblood DLC, so that I can do all of the Hildebrand quests in one go. I normally do an entire stream for each Hildebrand quest, because they are my favourite. They are the best. The Hildebrand's my favourite character, and the Hildebrand quests are the best. And Hildebrand is everything I aspire to be as a person. So just boundless self-confidence in the face of absolute evidence, like overwhelming evidence to the contrary. Less players, less people to sell things on market board. Yeah, that would be... I mean, I struggle to find some things on the market board as is, and this server's... I don't think I've ever tried to get onto this server and it not have a queue. And even then, I still struggle to find some things. But, yeah. It can't have been easy, staying true to yourself, but we're all better for it, me included. Go on, nod. Okay, don't nod then. That's my primary emotion, nodding. I'll never be a leader like Conrad, or Hien, or my father, or you, or Ralban, or... I could go on, but I won't. But I can be a friend to you all, and I can fight by your side. At least I don't necessarily know that you've survived this, so stop setting up death flags. I say this to every character. They so love to set up death flags in this game, and they dance around them a lot of the time. But it's just like, it's so often. Stop saying these things before we're going and doing like a really dangerous thing. Every time, my heart can't take it. I can be me, and that'll just have to be enough, eh? Nod. There we go. There's my one emotion. I've gotten more. Sometimes I tap my chest. You know, I'm developing a range of emotions now, but nodding will always be my primary response. Such a dumbass that you're actually a genius. Exactly. That's exactly what I aspire to be. It's why I have these emotes, because I mean no one has them other than me yet, but it's exactly why I have the I'm a genius. Oh no. But in reverse. That's what I currently am. I think I'm a genius and I'm actually a dumbass, but I need to just go further beyond. Hey! Thanks very much for the subscription, Rabbitron. Much appreciated. I believe that makes you a founder, because I've only got 3. But, I now have them. Unfortunately, you don't still, because it's the tier 2 and tier 3 sub as emotes. But you've got the basic pack. And as soon as I honestly just stuck them in tier 2 and tier 3 because the slots were open. As soon as the free emotes come up, I'll probably just shift a bunch of them to the free emotes. So you'll get them in like a month or 2. Yeah, because there's a couple that don't get used, and there's just there's some that are sat there for like bit donations as well, and it's kind of sad that they never get used. So I'll probably just stick them in the free ones. Oh, are those yours, are they? Oh, they're cute. So just reading I got distracted by the subscription, which is a good thing to be distracted by, but older items won't sell as often, sadly. Yeah. So to find a free company and get help from them. Yeah, I probably should join a free company. I've had a few invites, but I just... I don't know. I just don't want to. More there's a lot of things I'm just like, maybe one day. But for the time being, I don't really need any money, and I'm quite happy just plowing through the story quests. So I get given enough stuff for free that it kind of keeps me going. But the only thing missing is our lover saying he needs to tell us something after this fight. Yeah, it's so death flaggy, this entire game. Oh, there's a cute emote. I especially like the beans one. Oh, you get an XP boost as well? Okay, that might be useful when I get to the point when I'm trying to level up extra classes. At the moment, I'm over-leveled, so... That again, it's like I don't need the benefit, but when I'm trying to level up other classes than Red Mage, that's good to know. Oh, and yeah, actually have bodies to help you do the do the old content. It's not been so bad. Sotratus helps me out occasionally by being a healer, which gets me through the queue for most things pretty quickly. The only time we ever ran into any problem was when I was trying to do the final dungeon on the Hildebrand quest in A Realm Reborn, and we were trying to do it, and it was about midnight, and we queued for an hour and a half, and just no one wanted to do it. And then I went on the Saturday afternoon and did it in like 20 minutes. But, yeah. It's the time of day. Normally, because of the time of day I play as well, it's normally okay, so long as I don't try and queue for something too late. But, oh, you're a Paladin main, so yeah, you get the quick queue as well. Yeah, so the only downside of being a DPS is you can do queue a while. Strange to think back on, if we'd been standing in different places, or if the shell had struck the tower differently, it would have been me instead of Conrad, or maybe both of us. No, I got Hydaelyn's protection, I would have been fine. What kind of monster murders their own? She's like that peacock from Kung Fu Panda 2, which, I know I made that reference last week, but it's still true. Is that smoke from Castrum Urbania? Wait, it's coming from the cannon. Oh yeah, Estinian broke the cannon, I remember now. I can't tell what happened from here, but I can tell they won't be giving us any trouble in the immediate future. Yeah, Estinian just showed up and was like, no! I'm slightly too late, though, but I can stop a second round, I guess. This is our chance, Jack, to avenge Conrad and all the others who have died in the tower, friend and foe. To take Castrum Urbania and bring the bastards who gave the order to fire to justice. It won't be easy after the losses we took, but I know everyone's chomping at the bit. Champing at the bit? I thought it was chomping at the bit. Is it champing at the... Hang on. Is that a translation error, or have I just been getting the idiom wrong all this time? Champing at the bit. Oh, it's champing at the bit. I knew it was a horse thing, and the bit was the thing that they put in their mouth, so I always assumed it was chomping at the bit, because you chomp with your teeth. But apparently when horses do it, they champ. There you go! Learn something new every day. Sometimes you got to go in unsynced and slap a hoe while being over-leveled. Yeah, I keep meaning to go back and doing the Around Reborn trials now that I'm like level 75. Or 70-something. And getting my horses. But I just can't be bothered. Again, it's finding the time to do it. Outside of streaming on Friday, I very rarely get time to actually play this game. So it's usually what I do when I farm lower relic weapons. Yeah. Why bother queue up when you can slap bosses to death in one hit? It is nice. And I think there's a skill I get that makes that a bit easier, but I'm not 100%. But, yeah. Both the correct English and fun language. It is. It's the one that... I got one of the ones that was like a really stereotypical mistake. And I found out that I think it was... it's going to bug me now because I can't remember what it is. All intents and purposes. For the longest time, I used to say all intensive purposes. And then I found out that was wrong. And there's a couple where I just read the word and never heard it out loud, so... Yeah, it's not. It's intense. It's one of those things. If you only ever hear it and never see it written down, your brain goes, well, that makes sense in my head. I thought you took things for granted, not granted. Yeah. It's easily done because if you only ever hear it and then you just know, and you see it written down, and you're like, oh, it's like exactly like this, like champing at the bit. I've always thought chomping at the bit made sense. Bone apple teeth. I mean, I know that you didn't fall. Surely not, because you're French. I have heard people say bone apple teeth, though. That's not one. Although... It did take me a while to learn how to spell Bon Appetit. There's a load like that. We could go on. But let's go on. Nod. There we go. That was a stern nod, though. You have to tell the others. Come on. We just scamper away, taking all of the drama out of that scene as we scamper back to base. Easier down than up, eh? Though not necessarily safer. Anyway, no time to rest. It's fine. I've broken my ankles at least 100 times already on this adventure. We need to convince the others to strike now before the Imperials have time to fix their cannon. I don't want any of that. There's no time to lose, Jack. General Alden needs to know what we saw. There's no time to lose. But it's like, if I had taken a week break there and then come back, and she's like, there's no time to lose. It's like, oh, sorry. Yeah, I took a week off. So, as a Frenchman, bone apple teeth always makes me die of laughing. That's fair. That's fair. No worries, Rebitron. Hope you have good food. I don't know. enjoy whatever it is that you make. And on the table every time. It's where I belong. Oh, they always put me back off. You're returned. I only hope you bring good news. Oh yes, bone apple teeth to you. Since I learned English from playing video games, I'm sure I do a lot of these mistakes. It's probably the same with me in Japanese. know a lot of my Japanese from anime, and I'm pretty sure a lot of the things they say in anime they don't say in actual Japanese conversation. But I guess it's probably the same on the other side of the coin, where a lot of Japanese people learn their English from Hollywood movies and things and TV shows. And yeah, there's a lot of things that people say in there that we don't sound anything like. Communication. It's fun. We scaled the cliffs of Nunkrep's Hope and spied smoke rising from Castro Mabania's main cannon. I think Marshal Tarapin's right. They didn't fire again because they couldn't. The cannon seems to have been disabled somehow. Then we must attack Castro Mabania at once. It could still be a trick, but if it isn't, we may not get a better opportunity. That would actually be like a really... If we hadn't seen that it was Estinian blowing it up, that would actually be a really clever strategy. Just like, look, set some fires, make them think that the cannon's like overheated or something. They'll think now's the time to attack, Russian assault, and then we'll blow them all away with the cannon again. Ha! I'm a tactical genius. Bluntly, General, if it is a trick, it is an utterly baffling stratagem. Had the Imperials wished to wipe us out, they could simply have kept firing. Be that as it may, we may not risk everything to seize it. I say we dispatch a small contingent to infiltrate the castrum and secure control of the weapon. If the enemy is preoccupied with repair... Oh, that's Pippin still. If the enemy is preoccupied with repairs, we may be able to take them unawares. If, on the other hand, it is indeed a trick, our token force will prove an elusive target, and we will at least know the cannon is operational. Either way... It's not even for those voice. So... And people don't just walk around screaming, Kisama at each other's. As anime taught me wrong. Bakiaro ora ora. I mean, there are some things from, like, Daijobu and, I mean, you can get through a lot of Japan just by saying sumimasen. If you don't look Japanese, if you know sumimasen, people don't really expect much else from you vocally, in my experience. But, what was... The one... I think using da instead of des is, again, the thing that, like, people probably don't do in real life. Like, going, like, tatakai des, da. Or, I don't know. I can't think of anything on the spot, as always. 2 hours after the stream ends, and I'm lying in bed, I'll be like, oh, I think of the perfect example. Because that's always what happens. But right now I can. Either way, it seems well worth the risk. But how are we to infiltrate the castrum? In anticipation of a day such as this, men and women under my command have laboured long to cultivate a network of informants through Gear Albania, including Radiata. Is that a person or a place? Radiata is home, it's a place, to many who hold menial positions at Castrum Albania and other nearby installations. With the aid of our allies there, I believe we can secure a route into the fortress. The resistance will too many voices. The resistance will handle this. You may have recruited these informants, but they'd be just as happy working with fellow Alamegans. But at the end of the day, it's our land, our responsibility. Let us do right by Conrad. I should be glad to accompany her, General, as would Alice and Jack, I am sure. Nod. Well then, if you're all in agreement, I see no reason to refuse you. We will make ready to march on Castrum Albania. Go, and may Ralgar watch over and keep you. Ah, yeah. See, the Augustus, he's a good bird. You know, he takes after me. My apologies for speaking on your behalf. It would seem my sister's forthright manner is rubbing off on me. Also, you're mute, so that does happen. I confess my decision to volunteer was not wholly unmotivated by concern for Lys, nor less Alamiga. Castrum Albania is the largest Imperial facility in the peaks, you see, and so the likelihood that Kryl is being held captive there is quite high. Dealing with that cannon remains our main objective, of course, but if there is even a chance that Kryl may be rescued in the process, I would never forgive myself if I did not take it. Yeah, no, it's fair enough. I like Kryl too. And we'll go and get her. Hey, Rapier. Paladin. Ah, it's just... Man, why are so many of the rapiers boring? Like, it's just a stick. You know, I look like a friggin' wizard. I look like to cast an Expelliarmus. I mean, I am a magician, technically, but still. I think being able to say sorry in basic any language can get you pretty far. It shows you at least respect their language enough to learn at least a few words. Exactly. And Sumimasen Sen is like a catch-all, more so than I wouldn't say any other language, because I don't know any other language. But it's Sumimasen Sen just as a sort of catch-all. You use it for excuse me, sorry, hello, I'm hungry, I'm taking this, you can't stop me. Just any time just someone's like, oh no, you're not allowed in here, you just go, Sumimasen Sen, and you just elbow past them. It's great. They don't have, it's just, they're like, oh, I need to stop him, but he said the word. He's been polite. Episode review, we are to travel to Radiata, where we will meet with a contact recruited by Marshal Terrapin's agents. I took the liberty of reviewing intelligence reports while Jack and Lise were away, so the settlement is not wholly unfamiliar to me. As the Vice Marshal indicated, the vast majority of the populace is employed as menial labour in either Specular Imperatoris or Castrum Urbania. The former are unemployed now, so they may not be as interested in helping us. Perhaps as a result of this, the Resistance has long struggled to make inroads there. Aye, as you have the right of it. They got a better deal than most Alamegans, feeding off what scraps the Imperials gave them. Damned if I know how Marshal Terrapin's agents got one of them to turn his coat. I understand your disdain, I do, but I also understand their desire to look after their families by any means necessary. Our contact is a Rogadian woman. She will ask us questions. After we answer with courage, she will know us as friends. Courage, right. Put together a squadron, Nargo. We'll need them soon. With me, my friends, and be ready for anything. Let's go do some spy work. Woo! Must be terribly disheartening to be like, oh, I'm recovering from my wounds. We're barely getting by on rations, and then the Warrior of Light just pops out his magical 4x4 open-top car and peels out into the desert. Like, see you, lads! Woo! I don't even know, is it worth driving there? Yes, okay, it's only over here. Alright, 2 seconds, I'm just gonna... sorry. I wanted to blow my nose for like the last 5 minutes, and it's been bugging me. Look at this this mad lad mood suit. Looks like Kaido. Drop kick a guy while saying Sumimasen Sen, and they can't do anything. Exactly. It's an absolute defense. There's absolutely no stopping a Sumimasen Sen. It can get you out. It gets you out of. That's why there's so little crime. The police can't arrest you if you Sumimasen Sen them. I may be oversimplifying the culture, but it's not far off. Hey, why'd you go? You guys could have again. Just see the Warrior of Light peel up in his car and just be like, "Oh, you guys walked over here. You should have said something. I've got space for 3." And Augustus was in the boot. See, what did I tell you? Let us continue on to Specular Imperatoris. Wait, why did you make me stop? Man, I could have driven all the way there. I did. I got the regalia. I knew that it was coming back up because Detritus told me about it, and so I was very. I I wanted to get a car. I'm not a massive fan of Final Fantasy 15, but I wanted a car. So... You did miss a new subscriber. Rebotron subscribed. It doesn't happen very often. It's quite an event. I should have more fanfare. I got distracted. Do you wish to enter a Specular Imperatorus? Yes. I thought I had to say courage, but I guess not. You missed it the first time I was ready this time. Yeah, I heard, well, part of the reason I wanted, because apparently it's like this might be the last time it would come. But, although, I think in one of the live letters, they said that, dang it, that one. They said that they were planning to bring back a load of, like, event quests on a permanent basis. So, like, the Dragon Quest stuff. And you could redo them whenever you wanted, but... So that's cool for the people who, you know, like me, who joined late and missed out on some of that stuff. But I'm still really paranoid they're going to get rid of the Monster Hunter stuff before I finish... Actually, I can do that soon, can't I? It's Stormblood I have to finish before I can do Monster Hunter, isn't it? I can get my Rathalos mount. Do I at least get naked and run around the room like I normally do for new subscribers? That's the secret, relatively unique. I'm always naked. The tracker picks up the facial tracker works better, I find. As for running around the room, this is way too tiny a room for that. I would just bang my knee. Monster Hunter is staying. Yeah, I know Monster Hunter is like a permanent one, but the paranoia of me is just like, I know it would just be my luck that just as I'm about to get it, they're like, oh, hey, the Monster Hunter thing was only for like 4 years, and it's ending now, so you have to get it before. And it's like, oh, it's a mad scramble to try and get to the end now. That's a shame. I've done every event since launch, and my stuff won't be as unique anymore. I know, it's different. I do know the feeling there, where there's stuff like that, where it's like... I was there to support the game. Don't give it to everyone. But I suppose if it's something that they can just bring back multiple times, there's not really, like the Monster Hunter stuff, there's not really any point in it only being temporary. I could see like the yearly stuff, like sticking that in the store and then making that so you get it for free if you do it at the time, and then a year later you have to pay for it. I feel like that's a good. Because I wouldn't, if I couldn't buy these sunglasses, honestly, my whole look falls apart. Like, I am nothing without these. So the pompadour, don't get me wrong, the pompadour's like 90% of the look, but the sunglasses are the other 10%. And every one of my glamour plates has these sunglasses on. It's the only thing. It's just, I don't have to think about head slots. It's always the sunglasses. And I would be distraught if I couldn't have bought these from the store, so... Nier is also as a permanent event. Yeah, I'm looking forward to doing the Nier stuff, especially because, like, the dungeons are supposed to be canon to the game, which means I do need to go and finish the game at some point, but I finished the original Nier. Of course, there are still soldiers lurking about. Fortunately, they were no match for Lys. Come, Radiata is not much further. Of course, in light of our recent encounter, it'd be prudent to proceed with caution and remain vigilant for Imperial forces. I hear ya. Hang on, no, definitely not just going to immediately get... Oh, wow. I was hoping for something a bit more bombastic than my bird, but whatever. Oh. Man, stop stopping and starting. Just go there. Only one hat. I could never do that. I mean, if they ever add... Augustus! What the hell? Get back here! You coward! Giant robot showed up and Augustus pieced out. If they ever add, like, a really cool... I mean, there is a couple of other pairs of sunglasses, but I don't... Dang it. I don't really like them very much. they're a bit too... So the big tanker demon said nope. I feed you Geishao greens to... Like, I'm never going to get you to level 10 if you keep running away like that, Augustus, alright? Ignore the griffins. And that Alpine draft. Why are they bringing a beer? I don't have time for fighting things on the field. I'm too over-leveled as it is. Go away. I will ride you later. You're one of the snake mounts. And you're one of the only beast quests I have any interest in doing because of the snake ladies. If you're only just joining us, I like the snake ladies. They are, in my own words, they're like a big long lady. So, salutation, acting hero. What shirt is that? It's a good question. I got it last week. Hang on, let me speak to Lisa. I have to check. Looks like it's safe to enter. I don't see any Imperials. I don't see smoke above Castrum Albania anymore. Do you think they fixed the cannon already? I mean, I'll take the rapier, because why not? I've got on me the Sergei or Serge Gambison of casting. I got it last week. It's currently covering up a far superior looking piece of gear, I'll be honest, but I like to change my look every week. IRL word ban red. Okay. That shouldn't be too bad, providing we don't suddenly introduce a character that is that colour. Word. There we go. I forgot I actually turned off the... I turned it off for Cuphead, but there we go. I've turned the in-game action one on. How long's the IRL ban on for again? Oh, 5 minutes. I should extend that one, because not saying one word for 5 minutes isn't that difficult. I could just not say anything for 5 minutes. Let's stick that in the middle. So... Oop, you said it, you failed. I said it in confirming the word. You're fine. Am I going to make Augustus Crimson? So he's currently Dalamud Red, I think. You can... I tried making him the red, and it didn't work. And I couldn't be bothered to do it again. I went, this is red enough. No, I was trying to make him... Ah, damn it, I did... You tricked me into talking about the colour. I did. There's no punishment for this. I'll add an extra thing onto it. It's really... I'm really bad paying attention to what I'm actually saying as I'm saying it. I tried making him that colour, and it didn't work. And he came out this colour, which is more orangey. And so I was like, screw it. This is good enough. So I'll just put some barding on him, which is that colour, and that'll do. And so Augustus is going to make do. Maybe I will... Which colour? Brown. You know which colour. Maybe I'll try again at some point, but I couldn't be bothered to try it again, so... Like ruby better, scarlet, maroon, burgundy. It's, you know what I mean. Speak my best American accent. Well, howdy, partner. That is not my best American accent, but that is my best stereotypical American accent. Yeehaw, boy! Howdy! I do have a redneck accent. Ah, dang it! I didn't even think about that one. I do have a hillbilly accent as well, which I always just go, some crocodiles. gonna get myself some shrimp and some bio. It's difficult to do without any dialogue because I just start saying words from the American South. Gumball, that kind of thing. So there's a calculator for it if you Google. I followed the calculator. This is what pissed me off. Like, they said, get this number of fruits and this number of fruits, and then you feed them in this specific order, and you'll get this specific color. And I did all that, and he came out orange. And I was like, right. Well, I don't have enough fruits to do it again, and I'm poor, so I don't want to buy the fruits again. So I will. I'll try it again at some point, but I can't be bothered. Orange is close enough. So. Why does every Brit make us sound like we're all from Texas? It's just, you know. It's like when you guys do an English accent and you always go for Cockney. It's the most bombastic accent from your country. It's just the one that's like most. It's the most bombastic accent, so it's the most distinct. Other one you're going for like the Queen's received pronunciation. Oh, hello everybody. I am from England. Tally ho, pip pip titty. Which is not too dissimilar to how I talk, I appreciate. Sound like I'm trying to be from New Orleans. Yeah, it's that kind of American South. I missed a whole game worth of hillbilly accents because I can't say that word. Which game was that? That weird photographer that turns into a dog. Oh, yeah. No, that was The Good Life. That had that was in England. That was set in England, but it had like one American character, and he was supposed to be from Boston. And my Boston accent was perfect. You guys said my Boston accent wasn't good, and it was spot on. I can't do it now because again, I need dialogue. Boston crab. I like my clam chowder. That was it. Spot on. I felt it sounded like Mark Wahlberg. I'm your favourite dandy on Twitch. Thank you. Appreciate it. It's even better the other day when you banned the word I. Yeah, that was impossible. Like, you don't. Just record yourself talking and then listen to how many times you say the word I. It's impossible. And it's not even a word you think about. What the hell is Lise looking at? She's looking at Augusta. She's checking the colour of his feathers because I've been talking about it. I don't know. Augustus is packing. Stop talking about my bird's junk. Alright? She could be looking at the weird camel thing. The weird camel giraffe over there. That's way more interesting. She sees Augustus all the time. The jamel. Park the car in Harvey Yard. Just pronounce socks like that. I'm gonna go and see the Red Sox. I'm going to the shops to get some clam chowder. Boston. Yeah, see? They said my Boston accent was flawed. It is, like I said, Mark Wahlberg levels. Alphino said we were Alphino said we were looking for a Rogadin woman, right? And that we should answer her question with courage. I suppose we just have to strike up conversation with every one of them until we find our contact. Let me know if you find her, and I'll do the same. we just end up in a comical string of conversations where the answer's always courage. It's like, what's the name of that cowardly dog who used to be on Cartoon Network? I'm trying to think of another thing where the answer would be courage now. In The Wizard of Oz, what was the lion after? Red Sox. That's how they speak in Boston. Red Sox. They're a baseball team. So like more like Mark Bad Accentberg. I feel like that one needed a bit more time in the oven. Relatively unique. I don't sound like an American, speak like a barbarian. That's what we sound like. That's a bit harsh. I like American accents. They're fun. As fun as any other English-speaking nation. Anyway. What did the Cowardly Lion want? Yes, you went to the same one as me. Courage and Dorothy. That was a different version of the film. That wasn't the one. That wasn't the one that came out theatrically. Ain't seen you around before. It takes a certain kind of man to walk into a place like this uninvited. One with courage, I suppose. Courage, you say? That's in short supply these days. Better keep your head down and go along to survive. Call me a coward too if you like, because I'll not speak on it more. At least not here. Outside Radiata, behind those barricades over yonder, on the other hand. Was that code? I think that she may have been speaking in code. Hey, was that who I think it was? Well, that's a relief. Or a trap. Either way, I'll find Alphino and Alistair. We'll meet you there. And then we'll either die or we won't. Oh, I need to eat something. What food have I got in my pocket? I have a Zoni. I think I've got a purple carrot juice. I need to drink that at some point. Free up some space. It's any consolation, half people in Hollywood and Brits doing American accents. Yeah, it is interesting how many English people they get for. It's been. I'll give you another 5 because I said it a couple of times. I was gonna say it's been 10 minutes since the word ban, but I'll do the full 15, even though I'll do it for 20 because I did say it at the start. Yeah, it is weird how like the many English people they get to play American characters. Like Tom Holland for Spider-Man, Benedict Cumberbatch for Doctor Strange, or Custard Cream Bandersnatch, as I like to call him. That guy from Walking Dead. That's 3. I don't need to think of any more examples. What accent does Lise have? The voice I do for Lise bears no resemblance to the voice she has when she talks, because I did that voice. I think she put on a different voice when she was being Ida earlier on, and so I tried to match her voice. It's kind of a Cockney lady voice, but she changed it, and I didn't because I didn't want to. So it doesn't match what she actually sounds like in cutscenes. You might notice I can't do women's voices very well. My voice doesn't bend that way. Like, I can't change the timbre or pitch or whatever enough. So they all kind of broadly sound very similar. You can't do an Aussie accent and I'm Australian. They've been here and you've been here for 7 years. Oh, an Aussie accent's easy. You just call people a drongo. And you tell them no wuckers. And then try not to go for the really stereotypical one. You put some corks on your hat. I went for one anyway. Tom Holland actually did an interview in an American accent for 6 minutes until Chris Pratt pointed it out. I imagine it's one of those things that once you do it, it's like it's easier just to keep talking in the accent rather than to switch back and forth. I certainly have a really hard time switching between different voices doing this. Cat voice actor shit and doing awesome. Thank you. I try. I always worry that it just sounds like they all sound the same when I listen to them back, but I try and match them as best I can to what they cut in cutscenes. That's pretty bad. It's recognisably Australian. That's as good as I can get. My fiance is from the bush area and sounds like Steve Irwin. Oh, Bogan? Is that the word? Is it a Bogan accent? That kind of stereotype of what I just did, where, you know, that's the accent that I know. So the kind of posh Australian city accents or Steve Irwin. Correct. Okay, yeah. Yeah, the Bogan accent's the one I always go to. We've talked about this before. My Bogan equals hillbilly equals chav. Yeah, it's there, yeah. If I ever do an Australian character, it's going to be called Crocodile Dandy, which you can thank Sotratus for that name. Even though chavs are more like cheap wannabes. It's, the chav accent... It's really hard to do a chav accent without just going into Liverpudlian, without going into a Scouse accent. But they're more like, oh, innit, bruv. You what? Hey. I imagine younger chavs probably don't speak like the chavs when I was younger, but... I always want to go to the high pitched and just do the Scouse accent. What's the bit? My mind's all over the place thinking about different accents at the moment. Let's focus. I want to see that. That'd be great. Well, I've been talking about doing some GTA 5 roleplay at some point, and we were talking about that as a character. But apparently they do Red Dead Redemption roleplay servers as well, and I feel like Crocodile Dandy would do better on a Red Dead RP server because of the more wilderness stuff. So if I ever do any Red Dead role-playing, that's when Crocodile Dandy will make his appearance. I have a character in mind for GTA RP if I ever do it. I often confuse Australian accents with British accents. We tend to over-exaggerate Australian accents. Yeah, they are kind of similar. They're similar to certain accents. But the really strong Australian accents are very distinct from the really strong English accents. I tend to be an Australian drug lord in GTA. I don't know. The thing is, if I'm doing, because you play as a criminal when you're playing GTA normally. So when I'm doing roleplay, I always think I want to be anything but a criminal. I want to do something mundane. So. I love British dubs. I think they need to be given more work with Americans hogging it. Yeah, I was really surprised because I had no idea this was a British, like mostly British cast when I started playing it. And Xenoblade Chronicles 3 came out the other day, which has a mostly British cast. And I'd just been thinking about because I only ever played the first one, and I never finished it. And now they've got like all three and the definitive edition on Switch, and it's like, do I want to lose like 200 hours in fantasy British land? I've already got Final Fantasy XIV, which is fantasy British land. It's a hard choice. Not followed, were you? Good. That all of you, is it? Let's get to it then. Name yourselves. We are the Scions of the Seventh Dawn, friends of Marshal Terrapin. Name Stark. Stark Woad. You know the rest, or we wouldn't be here. This is about Specular Imperatorus and the canon, isn't it? Just so. Can you tell us what happened? Aye, I overheard soldiers talking while working in the mess. The cerulean pipeline fueling the cannon was destroyed by an unidentified male insurgent, they said. They said he was hanging around for a while, brooding, both before and afterwards. And he said, I'm Estinian, when people asked him who he was. And then he disappeared into the night. It could have been anyone. One man single-handedly disabled the cannon? I beggars belief. Who does he think he is, the Warrior of Light? Nevertheless, that's what they said. It took a while, but they finally put the fires out, and the engineers have been working day and night to repair it. Wish I could tell you more, but the incident had everyone jumping at shadows, and afraid to say much more to make matters worse. Oh, Wish I could tell you more, but the incident has made everyone jumping at shadows and afraid to say much more. To make matters worse, the Alamegan have been sent home indefinitely. So the cannon could already be fully operational. I don't know where I went with that. We need to sneak inside Castrum Albania to ensure the cannon is no longer a threat to our troops. Can you help us? Aye, that much I can do. I've pieced together a map of the interior over the years, and I know for a fact that there are multiple points of entry. Impressive. If we split into several groups, that may improve our odds of reaching the fire control centre. We may be few in number, but I have faith that we can see this through. Woo. We're all enthusiastic. It's like, we're sure that we can see this through. And then the word like says, payment. It's like, oh, yes, here you go. Thank you. All right, well, as I was saying, stop interrupting me mid-conversation, mid-strategy planning to demand payment for services. Give me trousers. No. Crocodile Dundee, Pet Detective. Be a crossover of Crocodile Dundee and Ace Ventura. That could be interesting. Why not both? FF14, Xenoblade, and Dragon Quest. Oh yeah, Dragon Quest is English as well. It's just I have so little time outside of work and streaming that there's so many. Like I really want to play all of these games. I really want to play because I mean to catch up on Kingdom Hearts, and they're all just so long. I don't have the time to play all of these 100-hour-long epics anymore. Like, I barely have time to play this 500-hour-long epic. I'm gonna end the ban on the word red. I also appreciate, but none of you pointed it out, that I said Red Dead Redemption a few times during the ban on the word red. But none of you pointed it out, so... Ha! Dan's Dragon Quest XI are all based on different countries and have the corresponding accents. However, the Colosseum town has American accents, thereby proving we're barbarians. I did start Dragon Quest XI because... so I broke my arm 3 years ago, and I was looking for games that I could play one-handed because my hand was completely swollen shut. I couldn't move it at all. So I was looking for games I could play one-handed whilst I was recovering. And Dragon Quest XI came up as a game that oh, you banned the word actually. Okay, that one I'm hoping is... Oh, I say that a lot though. Alright, well I'll try and keep an eye on that one then. That's what I get for cheating. No, that's fair enough. That's fair enough. So I was looking for games that I could play with one hand, and Dragon Quest XI is one that you can play with one hand. The exception is the horse racing part at the Colosseum that you mentioned, where you can do it one-handed, but they don't expect you to do it one-handed. But most of the rest of it, because it's turn-based, yeah, and it came out around the same time. But I never finished it. I met the two sisters, one who had been turned young, and we were going to the big tree. I think that's as far as I got in Dragon Quest XI. So... Oh yeah, I'm okay now. My hand made a full... Gaming really helped in the recovery of my hand. Like, I went to the hospital, like a month after my surgery, or 2 months after my surgery, to get a checkup. I think it was a month. And the surgeon was incredibly impressed at how much mobility I had in my hand. The only problem is I got a metal plate in the... maybe two. I might have two metal plates. I can't remember. I think I got one metal plate. I think the other... Because I broke both bones in my arm. But I only needed a plate for one of them. And so when it gets cold, I can feel my bone in my arm. That's the only downside to it. And it gets a bit stiff when it's cold. So I'm probably going to get arthritis in it down the line. So it's not great, but I have full function. I haven't, although I used to have really good grip, and I don't now. So I've lost a lot of strength in it. I've been meaning to build it back up, and I just can't be bothered. I've got enough grip. It's like I used to have really good grip. So I've got really good grip in my left hand and okay grip in my right hand. So, I'm going to speak like Ewan McGregor as Obi-Wan. Well, you should hear my Sid Garland voice when he shows up. So, that sounds uncomfortable. It's not great. Can you do something to prevent the arthritis? But, I mean, it's not a guarantee. It's just one of those things where if you get like any kind of bone damage, it just increases your chance of getting arthritis in an older age. Unless you break it when you're young and you're still growing. It's just once you're sort of fully grown, if you break anything, it just one of those things where it will never properly heal. So, something to look forward to in my old age. Hey, but maybe by the time I am old, which is only like 20, 30 years? Yeah, 30 years. Only another 30 years. Maybe they'll have invented some kind of... Maybe they'll have cured arthritis. I don't know. We have that for which we came. All that remains is to make our preparations. Jack, you and your ever-dependable allies will enter the castrum with my sister, and I by way of the ventilation ducts leading to the hangars. From there, you will proceed into weapons research and unleash bloody mayhem. At the same time, Alice and I will create a diversion elsewhere, and in the ensuing conflict, Lise and her unit will attempt to reach the fire control center undetected. If all goes to plan, our three parties will subsequently converge on this location, and together we will secure the cannon before finally notifying the Alliance that they are clear to attack. Sounds simple enough. I'll go and brief Naga on the details. The rest of you come with me. We'll need to deal with the Magitech patrols before you can infiltrate the castrum. What am I doing? Oh, I'm over here. My right arm is fucked up if it's any consolation. It's not. I would say it's consolation. I'm sorry to hear that your arm's messed up. Is it just messed up currently or permanently? Either way. Sorry to... Dang it. That one. Sorry to hear it. Oh, don't die before I get to cast my big magic spell. Oh, hang on, I get this one's... I think I get attacked by another one. There we go. Holy! Yeah. Dead. There you go. Oh, you were born with it, so you don't know anything else. Oh, okay. Well, it's not any consolation, but, you know, thanks for sharing, I guess. But, yeah. Almost there, friends. Your point of entry is just around the bend up ahead. The last patrol should be here at any moment. Once you've dealt with them, they'll be clear to advance, assuming they keep to their usual schedule. Might be prudent to stand watch for a moment after, just in case. Do I have to fight? I do have to fight another group, okay. Hi, Citratus. Trying to hide again, weren't you? There's nowhere to hide here. I know your game. Let me kill these guys and then we'll party up. Oh, wait, hang on. Where's Augustus? Augustus, get out here, you cowardly bird. We killed the robot again. There is somewhere to hide. Did you jump off the... Oh, no, you hit over on the pipe. Oh, you can probably fly. By Rauga, I knew you lot were good, but I never expected you to defeat them so swiftly. Yeah, it was annoying. They kept dying before I could use my special moves. Jack is the finest warrior I know, and I should like to think we have learned something from our time in his company. Now, where's the entrance to the ducks? Right behind you. I've mapped the branches, so you should have no trouble reaching the hangars or any number of other places. Understood. Thank you again for your invaluable assistance. As discussed, Jack, we shall divide into 2 groups and proceed via separate routes into the Castrum. Remember that our objective is to cause as much chaos as possible to draw the Imperials away from Lise and her men. If there's nothing else, I'll return to the Resistance forces and show them to their entrance. May Rauga guide you to victory. Bye, giant lady with an axe. I thought she was like a janitor or something. This is your last chance to make your preparations, Jack. When you and yours are ready, we shall begin. Castrum Urbania. Well, it's only 10:40, so we should be good. I shall leave the usuals to you. Thank you. Did you need a ready check? I'm ready. Oh, that's quick. I mean, as always. Also, I've just noticed I've over-leveled you. I've overtaken you in level, finally. Haha. Now I'm the senpai. I don't know. Party. Right. I'm hoping that the tank knows what they're doing. Big stream delay. They're busy on Oceania. Oh, okay. Have you got an account on Oceania as well, then? Fair play. Oh, okay, the tank has decided this is not enough enemies. Onward, then. I was hoping there'd be like at least 2 minutes for me to just quickly read up on this dungeon, but I guess we'll be playing it by ear, which is how I die. Which is fine. If I was really prepared, I would have read how to do this dungeon ahead of time, but oh well. I'm sure it'll be nice and easy. I guess dying before I can cast my spells. I mean, I guess it's good that they are, but... Oh. More robots. Not watching my balance as well. Well, if I'm getting targeted, either I'm doing a lot of DPS or the tank isn't doing their job properly. That's normally my takeaway. I'm going to put it down to me being incredibly good at DPS for a change. Because it has to happen occasionally. What are we even fighting? Dogs. Oh, I think this is the first dungeon that's been leveled high enough that I can actually use Verholy. That's nice. Oh, I might not want the weapons in here. They're like porcelain white with gold trim and florals. Ooh, I do like the sound of that. Let's see if I get lucky and get any, so I can have a look at them. This guy seems pretty straightforward so far. Oh, no, he's in... Is he going to dash? Oh, he's a motorbike robot. I was going to sword him, but if he's going to motorbike about, I'll... attacking. Man, it's not gone after me. I know I'm the dandiest on the team, but I just want to sit here and sling spells for a bit. I'm getting a lot of aggro today. Oh, he's dead now. What we got? Bracelet. Ugh. Well, I got the bracelet, so neat. Quite know where we're breaking these pods open, but oh, hyper-tuned. Oh, is that what they call? They're calling the like supercharged dudes. Nice to have a name for it. Oh, shooting with a cat. Was that a thing I could have done, was it? I see. I did wonder what they were for, but I thought let's just focus on doing my magics. is what I mean. I would have. I normally like to, like, very briefly just look up the mechanics of each fight, but it's more fun to learn as you go. Unless it's a level with an edge, in which case, what happens then is I end up getting knocked off the world and dying. Looking at you, Ifrit. Oh, man. They've made... They don't even have cars, and yet they've made bike monsters. Don't think I should look them up if they're normals. I do like... Because I feel conflicted, because I do like figuring them out on my own, but I also don't like being a drag for my teammates. But normally, as I'm just running DPS, I can... They'll compensate for me, you know? Oh, okay, so I guess the deal there is to try and destroy as many pods as possible, so we've got fewer hyper-tune to deal with. That makes sense. Oh, that worked out alright, considering. Oh, and there's more loot. Hat. And another thing I don't want. But I got some archer's earrings. It's fine. They all go to the Grand Company. Oh, there's a very tall man. He's had that leg lengthening surgery that they got in China. So I'm just looking at my TV to get a better look at him because he's a bit small. Do we need to destroy these? Stand in them? I can read visual cues. Ah! Ah! I feel like this is an area that I'm going to get knocked off of. Ah, stop knocking me away. Dang it! Fine, I'll shoot you with magic. Really didn't want me to do my spell. It's part of the reason I play as the Red Mage, is so that I can use my cool sword attacks on these dudes. And he just kept bonking me. Oh, well, he's dead now, so... When you do a first of judgment drop, no one knows what's up, and the hype when you get a mech... Yeah, I know what you mean. Standing element is cut off the runaway with a... Oh, okay. What loot have I got? Again, nothing that I need. Again, it's all points for the Grand Company. I can get myself some material coffers. So when he says his cup is fire and icy stand in lightning. Oh, okay. Yeah, I never read what they're actually saying. I always assume it's flavor text. But I know from experience that's not true. So I really shouldn't. Oh. And he got the attention of some slashers. There we go. Apologies, that was my bad. I attacked some enemies before I think the tank had a chance to aggro them. Hey, salutations, Dizzy. Amy, I distracted. Thanks for the resub whenever it pops up. Much appreciated as always. Always run to your tank if you have aggro. Oh, okay. I never know whether I should just wait. But that makes sense, because, yeah, their aggro is AoE in it. So, yeah, that makes sense. So I didn't realize it run out. It's alright. So it's the nature of the beast with Prime subs. It was active on Wednesday, so it's only going to have been in the last day or two. That way they don't have to chase you, because they will. Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, that's why I always think, like, it's like when you're a lost kid in a supermarket. It's always best to just stand still and wait for them to come to you. But no, that does make sense. What am I streaming tomorrow? So I've got 2 games. I've got the... I got into the Dragon Ball The Breakers open beta. So I'm going to be streaming that in the afternoon, because it's only... The beta's only tomorrow and Sunday morning. And then in the evening, I'm probably going to stream a PS2 game. But I need to see if I can get it working before I say what. But I really want to play Disaster Report 1 for the PS2, because it was one of my favorite games growing up. And playing that Akon Kagwa the other week really got me in the mood to be playing some old school movie. Ah, no, I'm looting. Oh. So I'll once I know when it's working, I'll put on Twitter what time I'm going to be streaming tomorrow. But yeah, anime game in the afternoon, so probably nothing you'll be interested in. You've chased many a sprout. Oh, look at this boy. I'm liking how Resident Evil it's gotten recently. It's great. Yes, let's move straight over. Okay, it would have been faster for me to walk. No worries, Amy. Thanks for popping in. I shall see you next time. Oh, I'm at 100. Let's... Full hog, and then backflip. Yeah. It's all for the backflip. That's why I do everything. No, don't come over to me. You stay far away, and I'll come to you when I'm ready to hit you with all of my magic. Talking about Resident Evil, umbrella. What's his chops is going to start show up and start talking about total global saturation in a sec. I destroyed one of those things. Sure, the other one wasn't important. Well, this one's not. I'm gonna be honest. I mean, there's probably some like maybe there's some incredible mechanic I'm not participating in, but oh, I died right at the end, and then leveled up. The hell! It's like every boss in Elden Ring. I beat it and then die and get. It goes, congratulations, here's an achievement. Here, I mean, you died, but here's an achievement. Here's the items. Here's some souls. But you did die. Sadras, can you get me up, please? I'll do the commendations. Thank you. I'll comment a healer. Greet. There we go. I was going to be GG's, but the second G being lowercase makes me sound like I'm going, ugh! It's my death rattle. Let's get out of here. At least I got the XP. Yeah, as I say, it's bittersweet. I won, but I did die. I did fail right at the end.
Are you all right?
Peachy. Totally killed this guy. He didn't beat me at all.
That answers my question. We've accomplished our objectives as well.
Lisa's unit should be advancing upon the fire control center in the command tower. Let us join them.
So we've been killing BOWs, and Lisa's been turning off the sprinklers. Good to know. No, that's not foreboding. Life for adventurer. Failed successfully. Exactly.
Lise, thank the 12 you're all right.
And you.
Yes.
There's the control center. Let's hit them hard and fast.
I wasn't going to die until I was back on screen again. It's fine. I know she's not going to die. She hasn't put on her special costume yet. Oh, yeah, there she is.
They're here!
Yeah, we know. Thank you, Fordola. I feel like there should be some kind of an alarm going off.
It was you, wasn't it? Wasn't it?
I gave the order to fire.
It was over. The skulls had surrendered. No one else had to die. And you killed them. Your own people. Your own comrades.
She's going to throw her sunglasses at us, and oh, which she's not wearing any.
You're
She's
right. I killed them. Ansfrid, Rudolph, Emlyn, all the rest. Trained and fought with every last one of them. Good soldiers to a man.
It's all right, Fordola. I know what you mean. I have trouble remembering everyone's names either. It's like, yeah, Alphino, Lise, Alice, and the other Scions.
I gave the order that led to their deaths. And I knew exactly what I was doing.
But why? Why would you do that?
Her hair looks like sheer ice cream. Her hair does look quite tasty, I will say. She's got that
They died
two-tone.
so that all Alamegans could live free. That was all we ever wanted. We made a promise that we would do whatever it took, so that one day the Imperials would learn to accept us. But everything comes at a price. And if you haven't got the means to pay, then you pay with blood. Service guarantees citizenship, but citizenship guarantees naught. It's not enough to do your part, oh no. You have to run faster, fight harder, kill more and more and more, and only then will you be equal.
I mean, it doesn't sound like a great deal, if I'm honest.
That's just how it is out here in the provinces. You buy your freedom with blood. There is no other way.
Shut up! Shut your mouth! You don't get to talk about freedom. You killed your own. They trusted you, and you killed them. Murderer! Butcher! Traitor!
Ah, she has gotten a Wesker. Look at this. Chris. Now, who's Chris? Ah.
Lise!
Gotcha!
This is so... Yeah. Again, if she had a pair of sunglasses on, she would be throwing them at us.
I know what you can do. I've already seen it.
You haven't seen me do anything. I've just been standing over here.
Alize!
Even so, the odds are against me.
Coward!
I wonder where she went.
Get back here!
That's probably unrelated. And again, she's escaping. Are we gonna do? By any chance, no spoilers, but do we kill Fordola by shooting her with rockets in a volcano?
You may bring your horde, if you like. All are welcome.
Do I punch a boulder? Because I played this game. Also, yeah, you'd think that... I mean, I guess she has been, like, hyper-tuned. But you'd think that glass would be sturdier, considering it's, like, their control center. It's like, oh, we could have just, like, flown an airship through the window and destroyed their entire control center. That would have been, like, a way better use of resources. We'll just get Sid to aim it. We'll put a brick on the accelerator. Boom! Cannons disabled. I think Fordola is Irish. I don't know, she might be. She's got a very soft Irish accent, if so. She does have a Shringan, though. I jumped so exaggerated, jumped 50 feet in the air and then backflip to dodge a punch. That's exactly, that's the Wesker way. She's very Wesker. I love her.
Thank you. Lise, I leave matters here in your hands.
Fordola has super strength, stronger than cannons. I feel like she should have beat up more of us then.
Right.
Then again, I'm very strong, so... I guess she needs to go and be a sub-boss somewhere. Well, we did it. Castrum Albania belongs to us now. Nago and her people took Alice and Radiada to receive treatment. Alphino tells me she'll make a full recovery. I know I should be happy. We won, and with minimal casualties. But somehow it feels empty. Oh, didn't mean to skip that, but I think she said we report to General Alban. I can wear none of these clothes, so give me materia. What's up, Rauban? We should report to General Rauban. He's over here. So I heard you're standing 5 feet away from me. Jack, it's Commander Hext. Fine work you did today. Why don't I get a title? I've got like 9 of them. After Specular Imperatorus, we need a resounding victory like this. Thanks to you, Rauga's star yet burns bright. I'm glad, I really am. But you should know that Alice was injured in the fighting. Oh, okay. Honestly, I don't really know who Alice is. Is that one of the children that follows Jack around? Regrettable, but I am pleased to hear that she will make a full recovery. Fordola's parting words, on the other hand, ring less favourably in my ears. But if Xenos wishes to invite us to his so-called royal hunt, then this bull would fain accept. What troubles you, Lise? Oh, it's nothing, really, just that we're almost to the end, but we've still got to save Cryon and do so much more. Also, she's, like, superpowered now, which is kind of worrying. Like, where did that come from? We'll find her soon enough. Pippin has his best men scouring the Castrum's archives as we speak. Also, what's his chops is... this is what I mean. I can't remember the other Scions' names. Not Estinian, the other one. The one with an eye patch now, who's naked occasionally. Thancred. Thancred's on it. Like, you're in the same team. I feel like Thancred could tell you that he was on it. He found Kryl hours ago. Listen, Lise. It will take time for us to fully occupy the castrum and prepare to advance into the lock. While we wait, there is something I would like to show you, both of you. After all, this may be the last chance we have to catch our breath before the final push. I don't see why not. Come with me to Radiata. From there, we'll need to follow another road south. So, bye, Captain. Bye, the 3 leaders of our rebellion. I guess we'll just tidy up here. If you feel overleveled, you could raise another job, and it should definitely be a ninja. I've decided Samurai is probably going to be the next thing that I level, because I want to be Samurai Jack. Samurai was a close second when I was deciding on classes, but obviously it had to be a red mage. It's, you know, it's got, like, the level 90 red mage move even has, that's not where I need to go, even has flower petals coming out of it. How could I not be a red mage? So, at least put Alisei on the battlefield. I mean, Alisei's the one that can fight. It's Alphino that isn't very good at fighting, apparently, even though he's, you know, been with me in most dangerous encounters. Am I better off... Oh, no, it's only over here. So am I better off teleporting somewhere else and then walking, but... The answer is no. Thank God, yes. I remembered it eventually. They're all banging, they're all rattling around up in my head, like ball bearings. I remember them all eventually. It's just... Everyone's got such a weird name in this game. There's very few Marks and Johns and Steves. So... A keyword there was naked. Yes, you only say naked. There's 2 characters that have been naked so far in this game, and one of them's Y'shtola, and one of them's Thancred. That's it. It's either the girl who's been naked or the guy who's been naked, and that's all you need to know. For like flower petals, I should try Dancer. Private Dandy the Dancer. Hey, I'm a Captain Dandy now. Thank you very much. I put the work in. But Captain Dandy the Dancer, it also has a nice ring to it. Even after all these years, it's still the same. Now, I won't get ahead of myself. You deserve a proper welcome. Oh, is this like his house? Jack, Lise, I brought you both here for a reason. Okay. It's like dramatic pause while I wait for the quest accepted music to play. Okay, the reason is... Lise, where did you go?
I wanted to show you this house. My house.
You mean this is where you grew up?
Aye. Not much to look at, is it?
I mean, I don't have a house, so...
Same could be said of the village. It was damn near impossible to live off the land. Barren as it was.
At least you own land.
Which is why so many of us traded our plowshares for swords.
I have an apartment, and I don't look after it.
Swords and uniforms, mind. We became military men. Tensions were rising between Alamigo and the Empire, and there was always a need for more soldiers to watch the border. It was only a matter of time before the first skirmishes broke out. It's a frightening thing to face Magitech armor for the first time. But after a lot of
Oh
trial
yeah,
and error,
yeah, I was terrified.
I found ways to bring them down. After a few victories, people even said I had a knack for it. And then one day they hit us. Hard. I was wounded and sent home to recover. Back here.
Oh, stop talking, Ralban. I'm going to use my superpower. I can see the story firsthand. This is way more interesting.
Will you remain silent for fear of the Mad King's vengeance? Of his eyes and ears in the shadows and his knives in the dark? You...
Oh, sorry. I stopped to cough, and then I thought you were done. I didn't mean to interrupt you, Curtis, whoever you are.
Liberty or death? Liberty or death? If this be your creed, then raise up your hands, raise up your voices! Together we will tear Theodoric from the throne! Together we will reclaim our freedom!
Alright, Braveheart. I was gonna say, if I used the echo just to see that was kind of a waste of the use of the echo. So I'm glad this cutscene continues a bit longer.
Send you home to mend, did they?
Aye, sir. Garlean's got the better of us. The chirurgeons say I'm healing well, so it won't be long now.
Liberty or death, is it? Tell me, soldier. What do you think those words mean?
We must needs be willing to die for liberty.
Notice they don't want to show us his face because they didn't have time to model a new one for him. Oh, is that true? I thought maybe there'd be like some plot reason, like we're turned to look at him and say, Ralban's had a nose job.
Liberty is a chance to build something better. A stronger,
Oh,
more
I guess I don't know.
prosperous
Fair enough.
home for our
Good guess as
people.
any.
It's not quick or easy work, and it is never truly finished. But if you neglect it, then sooner or later, you look up to find you've traded one tyrant for another.
Well, sir, I've never asked for much. Never wanted to live like a king, just wish it were a little bit easier is all. For me and everyone else. And I'm willing to die for that, if that's what it takes.
Dying is easy, soldier. Living is harder.
God. Put that in your MySpace.
Rest, mend. Regain your strength. You'll need it in the days to come.
Live
Yeah,
journal.
one day
That was what
we
I was
will
trying to
need
say.
it too.
That's what I was meant to say. Don't think we're gonna see his face in this cutscene, huh? Maybe it's like a. Yeah, it may well be a. Look, we're only ever gonna see young Ralban for this one cutscene, so it's not worth the effort. Like Tali in Mass Effect. Who needs to see one of the main
Conrad
characters'
chose you as the
faces?
successor, Reese. And I'll
Easier
not
just to see the
gainsay
back
his
of her head.
decision. I have but one question to ask.
Your AOL status message, exactly, or the bit on your MSN Messenger name back in the day.
Liberty or death? Those were Curtis's words and his creed. Will you swear by your father's creed before your comrades and the gods?
I'm gonna feel really bad here. Am I supposed to remember who Curtis is? Was Curtis the guy who joined the Braves and then betrayed us? Or was that a different guy? I feel like that they're referring to Curtis by name, and I should know who he is. Curtis's emo, yeah. Yeah, that is him. I didn't think his name was Curtis. Oh, it's his dad. Ah, okay. Oh, Lisa's dad. Oh yeah, no, I knew that he was the guy discussing liberty and death just now. I just didn't know if I was supposed to know who he was. But he was
Liberty
Lisa's
or
dad.
death. That's all you can hope for in war.
Yes, that makes
Father
sense.
asked that.
I think they have referred to her father by
Then you want to know
Curtis.
if I do too.
In conversation before. Okay, cool. Thank you. I just was thinking. I feel like the game wants me. I should assumes that I know who this is. But cool. I know who he is now. And she did just say it. Yes. Well, if I just kept clicking a bit further, I would have realized. I would have found out. XXX dying is easy. XX living is hard. I mean, that's a game. If they allow them that long, that would have been a gamer tag as well. Back in the day.
I swear to you, here and now, I will fight until the end. Be it liberty or be it death.
The MSN name. Yeah, that or
But the freedom we win must be for
XXX
every
Super
element.
Saiyan 5
Even ones like
Gogeta.
Fordola, though they may hate us. And the Ananta, though they may fear us.
Oh, Gaia Online. I haven't thought about Gaia Online in a very long time.
We'll fight, and we'll talk, and we'll find a way to make it work for all of us. Compared to all that, retaking our home will seem like the easy part.
A good oath. And there is naught else to say. You are indeed your father's daughter.
Gaia cursed. Gaia Online. You're like a fever dream you can't sweat out. Yeah, it's in that sort of same part of my brain that like Neopets and GeoCities and Maple Story all kind of cohabit. Nod. Yeah. Neopets started emailing me again recently. They're like, I've been ignoring it on my very old email. Not my one that I use. But I check my old email occasionally just for old emails. And yeah, they just started emailing again. It's like, oh man, I bet my dog griffin thing is probably still starving to death. The generation now is thinking about our stuff as nostalgic. Yeah. I imagine there'll come a time when TikTok will be referred to as fondly as Neopets is now. Even a blind man could see that Lise wasn't herself. Not that I don't understand. To be thrust into a position of authority under such circumstances, to be made responsible for the lives of so many, it isn't easy. When you see your friend get cut down before your eyes, it only gets harder. I'll wager she thought Alice was dead for a moment back there. 'Tis one thing to risk your life for a cause, but to risk that of another is burden no soldier is ever truly ready to shoulder. The fear, the guilt, it weighs on her, and that's good. It will make her a better commander. But first she needs to learn to carry it, to not let it break her, to remember that some causes are worth fighting for. Liberty or death. Her father's words gave me strength once. May I hope they'll do the same for her now. Right then, I've said enough. The two of you can head back. I mean to stay a bit longer. I've got to tidy. This place is in a shambles. Alright, I need to... You probably got a... Yeah, alright, I'll come and get your quest. Does anyone want to play Triple Triad with me? Pippin? Oh no, Pappin? No one wants to play... I'm never going to play Triple Triad as often as I like. So... Yeah, it is cool that we can, like, look back on that stuff. Probably dead by now. No, he's fine. He's just starving to death. Death for a Neopet. No, this is the eternal, like, torment of being a Neopet, is you never get to die. You just are in a state of starvation indefinitely, so... Why did I leave YouTube? I liked YouTube, but I found that streams were really hard to... Like, people wouldn't find my streams when I was streaming, compared to Twitch. So I was like, I did 6 months on YouTube, and the plan was to do 6 months on Twitch and compare. And I just found that it's a lot easier to find. People seem to stumble on my stream a lot better on Twitch than they do on YouTube. So yeah, it's just on YouTube, the only people who'd find people who already subscribed to me, or the odd occasion when I would play a game that was new, or just hadn't come out. So yeah. It was a shame, because I quite liked YouTube. It was fine. But the other thing is, as well, is that YouTube didn't really give me much in the way of, like, useful stats whilst I was streaming. It would say... I would have, like, 4 people in chat talking, and it would say that I only had, like, 2 people watching. Or it would say I had, like, 10 people watching, and then the stream would end, and I'd have, like, 5 views. And it's like, well, how could 10 people have been watching and only got 5 views? And it was useless information that meant that I couldn't really, like, tailor anything to anything. So, I mean, not that the number of people in the chat in views matters. I always give 100%, of course, but it does help to know if someone's actually watching when I'm doing something. So, the liminal space between living and dead, like sleep paralysis. Exactly. All of my Neopets are just stuck in an eternal torment. Like Han being frozen in carbonite. They're basically in hell. Yes, it's a kind of... until the servers die, yes. If I'm an accident, I think I was looking at Mr. Beast. I guess that's what you mean by Mr. B. Yeah. It's, But apart from anything else, it's good to have accounts on different stuff anyway, in case, you know, heaven forbid I accidentally do something that gets me banned on Twitch. I can always go back to YouTube. So, I understand. He's been away for a long time, and he probably wants to be alone for a while. Let's head back to Radiata. Radiata? I'm going to stick with Radiata until someone says differently. Which means, inevitably, I will have been pronouncing it wrong. Because that's always the case. Fly! Oh, you're only over here. Wait. Am I the only one who feels like I'm being watched? I don't know if it's Imperials or bandits, but I know there's more than one of them. Let's split up. You head northwest and I'll head northeast. Maybe I'm wrong, but I don't think so. Fly! No, Mr. B the Gentleman Rapper. Oh, I'm not familiar. I like the title, though. Oh, there's the last Aether Cone. Certain my style, I haven't heard of him. I will check him out. I'm a big fan of Dan Bull, who isn't a gentleman rapper, but he is a English rapper. And he does a lot of video game raps. So I recommend him back. Dugulbi. Wheel it hard enough, it will fly. It's just so sad seeing the mounts, the bird mounts not being able to fly. Oh, I didn't realise I'd clicked on him. Never mind. Let's save this. Let's beat up these Rogodins. I'm like 5 levels higher than them. It shouldn't be a problem for me and my bird. There we go. Okay, well those men are dead now. Let's go on to my dragon. I got a nice selection. Gamble Stipendium. I'm not familiar with Stipendium, but I'll check out Mr. B if you on your recommendation if you think it'll be my style. I do like a little bit of rap. Do I play Genshin Impact? No, I was tempted to, but I don't like any of the characters. And I do check in occasionally, because I'm like, what new characters have they added? And I look at all the character signs, and I just go, I don't want to play as any of these characters. My tastes are... I quite like Osan type characters, and there aren't any in Genshin Impact. They're all like 10. Well, not 10. They're all like 20. Like teenagers and 20-year-olds, and it's like, where are my 30 to 40-year-old old men with like, you know, 10 o'clock stubble or what's it called, 5 o'clock shadows and things. I mean, it doesn't really fit the theme of Genshin Impact, but still. Don't I change the battle stance of my bird? Yeah, he should be set to a healing stance at the moment, although it changes back occasionally. But he should be set at the moment. They attacked you, didn't they? I had no choice. Oh, yeah, I don't care that you killed them. They're Anamegan. Not even conscripts by the looks of them. Barely adults, in fact. Some of their faces look familiar. Wait, I remember. They're from Radiada. They must have seen us when we were looking for Stark. They probably thought the Imperials would reward them if they captured or killed. Oh, God, Alice and Alphino could be in danger, too. We have to get back to Radiada and find Nago. Oh no, the plot thickens. Let's get on my egg and ride as quick as we can. Where are my 32-year-old ladies that may be tired all the time? Exactly. That's it. Genshin's too young. It's too young. Fortunately, anime considers you old once you hit 12. Yeah. I make jokes about Alphino and Alice being anime protagonists. And I'm just like... I'm like the Fonz to their... whatever the name of the guy from Happy Days was. Archie? No. That's from Archie. But yeah. They're like the anime protagonist. And I'm the awkward uncle. Yes. That is exactly it. This is what I am. I'm just like the old man who follows them around and hits a jukebox. But they're too young to drive, so I give them lifts places, and I get them into all the adult film. I'm the cool, awkward uncle. You're the wine ant. It's the role we play. What's all this about? You two look ready for a fight. We were ambushed by villagers outside of Radiada and thought they might try to attack you too. Are you alright? Oh yeah, we murdered them all. Aye, we're fine. The twins were at Stark's. Alice was asleep last I checked. I'm sorry, did you say you were ambushed by villagers, not soldiers? Did they not see what we just did to Castrum Urbania? Goddamn fools. Jack, we ever heard you talk? Oh no, it's Stark, sorry. The ones that attacked you, well, they were young, less than 20 summers. Aye, I thought so. It's always the young ones. The ones who have only ever known the occupation. They're the ones you've got to look out for. See, the only decent work to be found in Radiada is for the Imperials, and everyone knows it. Children grow up knowing it. They have it pounded into their skulls that the best they can hope for is to serve an Imperial officer. Bloody fools. After everything they've seen us accomplish, they ought to be begging for a fight for the Resistance, not against us. They've been living in the shadow of the Castrum their whole lives. A few victories won't change that. Aye, you'll get some who can't wait to spit in a soldier's eye, but they get beaten for their trouble, worse. Even so. And the ones that don't fight back but refuse to beg, well, they just starve. Beat the dog that bites his master's hand and ignore the dog that refuses to do his bidding, see? In the end, the ones that learn to abide are the ones that survive. Except, because we killed them all. We killed like 5 of them a minute ago, so... and survive that well. Now that you say it's all about to change, and I believe you. Many here do. But a young man or woman who grew up only knowing what he knows has got every reason to doubt. Remember that. Do what you have to if it comes to it, but remember that. The sooner we liberate Alamigo and bring an end to the occupation, the better. Only then can we show these youths that things do not have to be this way. Only then will they know what it means to live free. Or die hard. No, we don't talk about that film. Wait. Yes, no, we don't talk about that one. Wait. No, Live Free and Die Hard's the good one. We're going to build a new home for ourselves. Together, a better home than they've ever known. Now have some boots. Buy the cigarettes for them, yeah. In Japan, there's a town where they don't consider you up till 55. The town is known for people living long lives. Oh, I'd love to not be considered an adult till 55. I'm 35. The only thing I have to look forward to at this point is later this year when I turn 36, I will be too old to go on 18 to 35 holidays. And then I think I don't have anything until 65 when I get a free bus pass. I think that's it. Like I was 25 before now was the last one, which was when I would be old enough to rent a van. And then 35's the next one, and then 35 is the age you can become president in the US. Well, I think my birth certificate might get in the way of that, but good to know. Good to know. Do they think they're elves? A lot of people that live beyond 100. I heard there's a place Italians live quite low because of all the in places where they have like a lot of olive oil, well the vineyards and stuff. Apparently olive oil does your body good. I don't know. Cannot lay it out for me like that. Sorry to make you feel old. You're 32, exactly. You've still got 3 more years of 18 to 35 holidays left. You know? But after that, yeah, it's just the bus pass. Sorry. I've been thinking, if Alisei needs more time to heal, maybe we should move her to Ralga's Reach. She can receive much better care there, after all. Our infirmary is probably the best place for her, short of sending her to Gridania. Indeed, and given what Mistress Woad has told us, I would rather that she did not remain here. Then it is settled. Now go and see about getting us a carriage and an escort. Alphino, you should get your sister ready for the journey. Jack, would you mind going on ahead and telling Aurelia that we're on our way? I want a bed waiting for Alisei when she arrives. Thanks. I did that in Alphino's voice, but whatever. Yes. Because I can teleport. Where am I going? Where do you want me to go? That one. Just drink a lot of wine. Take some shots. Jack, shut up. Sorry. Ever watch Young Sheldon? Ugh. One of the things I like about the show is that the seniors are out and about living their lives, dating, going to events, etc. To be honest, I will say I did used to watch Big Bang Theory for like 4 seasons, but I don't think they even show Young Sheldon here. I am interested in if Young Sheldon runs long enough. You know how like when they did X-Men, and then they did X-Men First Class, and then it went the X-Men First Class. They then went on long enough that the old Professor Xavier started to catch up to the older Professor. The new Professor Xavier started to catch up in age to the new Professor Xavier, and there was a point where there was only 10 years. What's his name became Patrick Stewart. I'm interested in that happening in Young Sheldon. Like, Young Sheldon goes on long enough that the kid from Young Sheldon is, like, 2 years away from Sheldon at the beginning of Big Bang Theory. Because it's just, like... It's just... I don't know. That just tickles me. Like, will they do CGI like in Looper to make him look a bit more like... the actor, whose name I don't remember. Can I have young Sheldon first class or Sheldon's kids? Oh. I guess that would be the continuation, wouldn't it? Doesn't stereotype seen as like the normal never leave home and knit sweaters. None of my grandparents knitted sweaters. I wish they would, because I like sweaters and they're expensive. They went out all the time. There was nothing to do. My grandma was in a club with the Lola ladies who wore purple. I think it might have been a cult. Oh god, a Looper. I haven't thought about that. I think about that film all the time. Because I only watched it once. But there was enough in that film that disturbed me that I'm like, yeah, can't get this film out of my head. That's just stuck there now. Do you require assistance? Yes. Very well. We will make ready to receive the patient at once. Give me a hand, would you? Oh, am I going to do some... Oh, okay. I thought maybe I was going to have to move some boxes. I like the quests where they're like, right, take those boxes and put them over there. Because it's always nice doing menial work as the Warrior of Light. There. All crisp and freshly laundered. We're here. Is everything in order? How long were we making that bed? Right, we're bringing her in. The Red Hat ladies. No, I think it was a similar thing, but they definitely wore purple. They're all over the world. Red hats and purple accents. Like a Mr. Tandy. It's a good movie. Then, I mean, clearly it's left its mark on you. Or is it a good movie? I mean, it's one of those movies that I don't ever want to watch again. Because it wasn't very uplifting, shall we say. And I don't like watching depressing movies more than once. 10 Cloverfield Lane is another film I'd put in that category. 10 Cloverfield Lane is a great movie that I never ever want to see again. Like, John Goodman in that film is great for all the worst reasons. Like, it's a very disturbing film. So, I recommend it once. But yeah, Looper's... There's one specific bit in Looper that I really hate. And it's... They basically... Because the time travel in that is kind of shonky. And they have a bit where they've got the younger version of an older guy. And they're basically cutting him up. They got a surgeon to cut him up. And the older version is like losing body parts as he's driving down the road, and then he's like rushing to get to where the younger version is before basically he loses all of his arms and legs. And I didn't like that. Body horror stuff. I don't like body horror stuff. That always unsettles me. I haven't watched the movie Downsizing for the same reason, which isn't body horror, but I just hate the idea of having like an irreversible change done to your body. It freaks me out. I don't know why anyone would want to watch that movie. The entire concept of that movie is stupid anyway. But yeah, there's that bit in Looper sort of stuck with me. But there's a couple of other bits in there that sort of stuck with me that I quite liked as well. Like the concept of it was interesting, and I like Bruce Willis, and the kid from Third Rock from the Sun, Joseph Gordon-Levitt. Yeah. It's one of those movies where the story's bonkers because it starts in the middle of the story without talking about the universe around it. Yeah, it doesn't go into much. It basically gets around the numerous plot holes with how the time travel in that series works by not talking about it, which is fine because it's one of those things where you're just kind of like, okay, clearly you're just going to have to hand wave some of this stuff because otherwise the film falls apart. So. You've never heard about the movie Looper? When it came out, there lots of people were talking about it. It's a good film, but if you if you're the kind of person who gets hung up on time travel stuff, I don't recommend it, because it is really, like, it is very, like, Back to the Future level. That's not how time travel would work in any reality. But it's good. You can tell Alphino and Alice apart, because Alphino parts are her to the left and Alphino to the left. Well, Alphino also has... Does Alice have the ponytail? I never really have trouble telling them apart, for the most part. I feel like they've got different eyes. But I see what you... But they are twins, so yeah. Is that what it was? I thought it was jumping through portals like Doctor Strange. Are you confusing the film Jumper, which is with Samuel L. Jackson and the kid who went on to be in Die Hard 4, where he can like teleport to anywhere in the world? You are, okay. Yeah, that's Jumper. Jumper is... I don't remember much about Jumper, except there was a bit where he jumped and Samuel L. Jackson fired a chain through his closed portal and yanked him back. That's the only bit I remember about Jumper. Oh, and there's a bit with a bus in a desert. Okay, so you've never seen Looper. Okay. And you're not watching yeah. If we don't talk about the problems... Looper's, it's like I said, it's a film that's got some like really memorable scenes. Yeah, it is a good film. It's just one of those films I don't want. I only would recommend watching once. No Human Centipede then. I'll be honest, Human Centipede didn't bother me as much, because I feel like in Human Centipede you could undo what they did with a knife, basically. It's more like The Fly or Bugsnax. I played Bugsnax last year, and I didn't like that. The body horror stuff in that game upset me. It's not a horror game, that game, it turns, apparently. But, yeah, I don't like body horror stuff. Yeah. Can't watch it. Yeah, but the Human Centipede never... I'll be honest, I haven't watched Human Centipede, but I think I skimmed through it, because I read the synopsis and thought, this sounds dumb. And then I skimmed through, like, the highlights, and yeah, this is dumb. Okay, cool. So I got no desire to watch it, but, you watch Barrier streaming for Bugsnax, and yeah, it's... I had lots of questions about if you changed your hand into a food and then someone ate the food, did you lose the hand? And I think you did, because there was a lady who lost her leg in that game. And there was a guy who wanted ice creams for legs, and then he wanted to walk on the sand, and I was like, well, your legs are going to melt, and then what happens then? Do his legs like spread out across a desert? I just didn't like it. Yeah, it was upsetting. I need to play the DLC for that game. Actually, that came out the other month, and I was busy or sick. One of the two. I went to high school when 2 Girls 1 Cup became a thing. Yeah, I remember 2 Girls 1 Cup. Good times. Lemon Party, yeah, or Goatsy. Or Meat Spin. Good times. Good times. Honestly, Alphino, you needn't have gone to all this trouble. Well, the perfect opportunity to go back into the story. What can I say? It seemed like a good way to discourage you from limping off to battle when my back was turned. Listen to Arella, please. You need your rest. I know. Any news of Cryle? She'll be cross if you make her wait too long, as will I. A chilling prospect indeed. I'll find her, sister. Now I'll fight twice as hard for the both of us. Man, Alice, you even had that cooler sword for... You still messed up. Just give me the sword. I want the sword. Actually, no, the sword I got at the moment is quite cool. They're good together. When they're not at each other's throats, I miss that feeling. Jack, I have a favour to ask. Would you mind waiting outside for me? I won't be a moment. Alright, you don't need to get that excited about me agreeing to wait outside. She's a very hyped girl, Lise. People wonder why we're all messed up. Unlimited, unsupervised internet. Yeah, those were the times. Where, you know, nowadays, someone says, oh, take a look at this, and you get Rick Astley. Back in the day, someone's like, oh, hey, take a look at this, and boom, Tub Girl. Good times. Good times. She wants a date. I mean, it's one of the downsides. I say downsides. It is one of the... I don't know. Just effects of the fact that your character can be any gender is you don't get to date any other characters. Hey, she finally put it on. Yeah, I had this costume spoilt for me, because, like...
Sorry to have kept you waiting.
I don't know why you're putting on an accent all of a sudden. Like, 4 weeks ago, maybe a little bit longer than that, they added this costume to the FF14 store. And they were like, look, it's Lisa's Leader of the Rebellion outfit. And it's like, oh, great, thanks. Thanks, I hadn't... Okay, cool. They did start hinting towards that it was going to go this way, but we hadn't quite gotten there yet. I was still on the step, trying to get a big bird or something. She's getting dressed. I mean, yeah, she has dressed up. This does feel like a date flag, but in any other game. But in this, I just know we're just friends. It's fine though. I'll get my snake made, and that's all I need. She can live in my room. It's on the cover of the physical Stormblood release. I bought I've got this digitally. I don't have the cover. But now that you mention it, I do kind of remember seeing her on the key art for Stormblood. So, yeah. It's fine. It's not like it's a massive spoiler or anything, but... They should really name shit better. How about just Rebellion Leader's traditional dress? Yeah, it doesn't help that they show it with a picture of Lise on the on the store, and cuddle you for warmth. Oh, like fear.
Well, what do you think?
Are you going to steal my
I
essence,
know it's
Lise?
a bit old-fashioned, but in a traditional sort of way, Ida wore it whenever she could. Not that I'm pretending to be her or anything. Not again. It's just... if this is the last battle we fight to free Alamigo, then she ought to be a part of it.
I don't know that looks very comfortable to fight in, but, I mean, maybe it is. I guess it's kind of open and breezy. It's not quite your style. It suits you, ... Then there's this hubba hubba. It suits you. Start wolf whistling.
It's
Slamming my hand on the desk.
And a bit embarrassing, but mostly nice.
I'm not gonna be mean to Lise.
Anyway, the
She's my
real
punch
reason
girl.
I asked you here was to sneak in a warm-up before the final battle. There's this place I know where monks used to spar as part of their
Oh,
training.
this is from the
Care to join
FMV.
me?
We're gonna go on the hand. Yeah, she wore this. I thought she was the dancer, like it was just showing off the new dancer class. But the dancer wasn't introduced in this DLC. It was the samurai and the red mage. And then because yeah, I remember watching this cutscene back right when we started Stormblood, and I got the wrong end of the stick. Yeah! Am I actually going to fight her, or is it going to be a cutscene? She dances with her fists. It looks like she's got a freaking knife on the end of the right one. And kiss. Okay. Like, hey, go watch. You know, watch the FMV. That's what happened. I'll have to rewatch that. I will have to rewatch that so I can remember what I can refresh my memory about what they actually did. Maybe we got a little carried away, but you have to admit that was fun. We did just fight, right? After it faded to white. Thank you, Jack. You're the best kind of friend with benefits. The kind that's not afraid to knock some sense into you. No, I won't. It was fine. We'll leave it. Thank you for the boots. Speaking of knocking things. Oh, I'm a child. Alright, what time is it? What's the next mission? Upon the Great Lock Shore. Sure. Oh, let's do this, because this unlocks a new area. This will probably be, and then we'll call it a night. My head's in the gutter, exactly. It's like, whoa, we really had a good workout. I haven't sweated like that in years. Oh, you've made me feel things in places I haven't felt in years. So we did just fight, right? That's all that happened. I didn't black out. He's just only knows how to accidentally talk in innuendo when she has fights with people. Now that Alisay's settled in, it's time we rejoin the fight. Though actually, maybe you and Alphino should go on ahead without me. I need to talk strategy with the officers, and that might take a while. I know that your only strategy is to go and hit them with your sword, so you're not really much help here. Go and talk to the children. Just nod. Okay. It's only 7 PM. For you. It's almost midnight here. Ah, there you are. What was it that Lise wanted of you? You are too young to know. Aha, sparring match on the Destroyer's very palm. I would have liked to have seen that. No! But she is right. We've lingered here long enough. I am ready to depart when you are. Take care, you two. Don't do anything I wouldn't. Like get cut by Fordola. Try not to do that if you can. And you had better not rise from that bed until you're given express permission to do so. Riange will be paying you a visit soon, and he is already worried enough as it is. We have a long road ahead of us. Lead the way, Jack. Oh, yeah. We're going to the locks. He said no at the same time as me. Oh, it's easily done. Right, where are we going? Okay. If I go there... then I gotta go all the way around. God, why can't... Let me fly! This map's inconvenient. Fine, we'll go here, and then I'll go around the top. Or can I climb that cliff now that we've climbed it with... Because I tried going around there earlier, and he wouldn't let me. Oh, at least I got my movement speed up. Let's go, Augustus. Can I climb up there now that me and Alisay have gone up there once, or is it still... No. Nope, doesn't seem to be. Okay, round the long way then. Alpha, go play with your toys. Mama and Papa need a spar again. Oh, I think I might have ruined Lise now as a character, because it's all I'm going to think about. She was my punch girl. Kaido. Doing about half of the Final Fantasy XIV male game base. She's a popular character. And, you know, Y'shtola's not been on the scene for a little while, so... what are you going to do? Plus, you know, I like her choice in colour. She's very red-centric. We look good together, that's what I'm saying. She's good with her hands. Oh, no, oh, it's my little crap. Yeah, I love this thing. It's so dorky. Whee! That's my little whirly bird. It's my favourite mount, because it's so lame. Punch girl. Nice. It's not well an innuendo. She punches things and she's a girl. Punch girl's a legitimate term. The other half is simping for Y'shtola. There we go. Not biased at all. You simp for your own character because you're a narcissist. If I'd made my character not just look like me, maybe I would too. Although I am a narcissist. Hey, Stratus. Looking regal on top of your fat chocobo mount as always. You can do it with an Etherite over here, just for convenience. And it's in for anyone to a Shadowbringers. Okay, so I've got something to look forward to then. But you will be every stream. Tartaru. Don't ruin Tartaru. She's our adorable jelly bean. A possible villain. You are returned. How fares your sister, Alphino? Her rapier width remains undulled. Unfortunately, her actual rapier is broken. For better or for worse. Have there been any developments in our absence? I am proud to say that Castrum Albania is now wholly under our control. At present, we are taking stock of enemy supplies and redistributing them amongst our men. Also, while sifting through the officer's documents, we learned that a unit of skulls under Fordola's command passed through the Castrum en route to the capital, with a single prisoner in their custody. Kryl, it has to be her. In all likelihood, yes. You will be glad to hear that the tunnel leading to the locks has been secured by our soldiers and is now safe for travel. And one final piece of good news. Reinforcements from all 4 Alliance nations have arrived and joined the main host, which has established a new base of operations within the locks. Commander Hex should be arriving soon, yes? When she does, we will call a meeting to discuss the final stage of Raugar's beacon. Elise, sorry for keeping you all waiting. Let's look at my dress again. Ah, an Alamegan folk dress. How very fitting. And well-fitting, I might add. I wanted to do something for Ida, and myself. And Jack. Nod. This is it. The last push. We're coming, Kryl. I'm just laughing at chat telling Alphino off for flirting. Oh, no worries, Atratus. I know that you totally weren't just hanging out there waiting for me to come back.
I remember my father's words. How they rang in my ears as we left Castrum Albania behind and looked out over the locks before us. Comrades brave and true. They had come from all across Eorzea to stand with us. To stand against oppression.
I like in any cutscene where they're walking with a Lalafell, they always match their pace, so that the Lalafell doesn't have to like scamper around trying to keep up.
Had ruled us, but no
Pippin would look a lot less like
liberty or death.
Cool if he had to scamper after everyone, walking at a normal pace. It's nice. It's good.
Ere we begin, I would say to you as a proud son of Alamigo that I am grateful to each and every one of you for your part in this endeavor.
Nod.
Now, to the heart of the matter. The enemy appears content to remain within the city walls and await the inevitable siege. Open conflict has been sporadic thus far. Whether Xenos is biding his time until reinforcements arrive, or attempting to bait us into a trap, none can say. We know better than to trust his word.
Regardless, we can ill afford to present Garlemald with a chance to ready her legions. It would be in our best interest to press for a swift resolution.
A long siege wouldn't be good for the people in the city either. If food becomes scarce, you know who'll starve first.
Just so. Therefore, I propose we commit our forces to an all-out assault. What say you?
Do you remember the dragon we fought?
It would seem we are of one mind.
Is that not going to come back
Let
up?
us proceed to the how of it.
Do you remember we got a robot? Nero, do you remember what happened to all of that?
The immortal flames will form the vanguard, supported by the archers and the conjurers.
Sorry,
I
know we're in the middle of like we're about to like
command.
attack the Empire, but I thought that was going to be more of a thing.
Once the main host has cleared a path to the walls, we will bring forward the artillery of the Maelstrom and the Temple Knights.
Oh yeah, some of the cutscenes take my sunglasses off. I don't like those cutscenes because I have old man eyes under the sunglasses because they're the eyes that go with the face that I chose. But, oh, it's part of the raid, is it? Oh, okay. I just thought, you know, they kind of built that up as being this big thing, and then no one's mentioned it in like 40 hours. Well, how long have we been playing this? 20 hours?
I would have your cannons pound the gates and punch a hole right through the middle of their defenses.
Then again, Alexander showed
What
up
about
at the end of Heavensward, and no one said anything about that because I didn't do the raid. It's just they had this whole thing dedicated to this giant robot coming out of the lake, and no one at any point thought to go, "Hey Jack, go talk to this guy about the giant robot." They were just like, find out on your own. Or don't. It doesn't matter.
Your part will be to occupy the residential district and keep civilians out of harm's way. The people are more like to trust their own.
Of course, you can count on us.
Remember that there is a second entrance to the city proper there. If all goes to plan, we will have secured 2 points of entry. Once both objectives are complete, we press on into the city, surround the palace, and hunt down Xenos.
I love that they keep bringing this giant table. I'm late into the cutscene to notice this. I love that they keep bringing the big table with them everywhere. It's like, it's the only table we've got that's big enough to hold the map. Okay, we have to keep bringing it with us. We could get a smaller map, I suppose. We don't need a map that has the entire continent of Eorzea on it. I agree, but it's the map we've got. So we're going to just keep carrying this table with us from base to base.
Regular unit until we have more intelligence on your captured comrade. Kryle's rescue will be your primary concern, but I dare say we'll find a use for
Such a
you once
needlessly
her freedom
big
has been
table.
secured.
The raids run a weird parallel to the main quest. Yeah, the thing is, I quite liked that they made you do the Crystal Tower in order to continue the Around Reborn stuff. I feel like they should make you do the raids at least once. Although I did read that apparently the Alexander quest is now compulsory to do the Tartaru quest that's either just been introduced or was about to be introduced to Endwalker. But also, I need to do the raid at some point to get the triple triad cards linked to the raids. So I will at some point go and do Alexander, but I don't have any interest in doing it yet. Things like the B plot of the expansion. Yeah, because the Crystal Tower was like quite important for building up stuff later on, because it had it had Nero and it had those crystal guys. It had that one guy, Gratia. I know that he's important at that he becomes a thing later on. So yeah, I thought the other raids would be as important, but they just, like I said, just completely didn't mention Alexander at all. So A plot gets all the money, B plot just looks good. Okay. Yes, you didn't have to do the Binding Cause of Bahuma. I did 2 of them. And I think Alisei, I read that, and then Alisei's dialogue when she gets reintroduced in this, I think, pretty much, changes depending on how much of it you've done. Either whether you've not done it at all, whether you've done some, or whether you finished it. Because she, like, comments on the fact that, yeah, we never did finish that, did we? And it's like, no. I did 1 and 2 in order to get a jacket. But that's about it. They do become important, but the payoff is later. Yeah, I might do them all back to back at some point when I need to. At some point, because Triple Triad is a big thing for me in this game. So at some point, I will have to go and do them all to unlock all the Triple Triad cards that are related to them. So as part of my quest to get all of the Triple Triad cards, I will probably do the raids then. That's when I'm also going to do the Beast quests and all of the other additional content, because there's stuff linked to the crafting thing in Heavenswood that I haven't done, and there's stuff linked to the dead, the Tower of the Dead, and the Endless Tower, or whatever it's called, that also have Triple Triad. Like, Triple Triad stuff is linked to everything, so yeah, I like Triple Triad. Probably do the Unsynced and then have a movie night. Yeah, I probably will do the Bahamut Coils Unsynced at some point, because yeah, it's difficult. I know that you can't really queue for those, or if you do, you queue for ages. Restoration, Palace of the Dead, and Heaven on High. Yeah, those. So I need to do them all at some point. It's just finding the time. It's like when I run out a main story quest, that will be main scenario quest. That will be what I focus on, whilst I wait for more main scenario quests to come out.
Ralga's beacon nears its end. Soon, my friends, Alamigo will be ours once more.
A good thing about FF14 is that it's unlikely I'm going to run out of content for a very long time. There's a lot of things to do, especially at the pace that I'm playing it. My hope is that I get caught up on the main scenario quest by the time that the 5th expansion comes out, so that I can enjoy the expansion as it comes out. But we shall see. Because, I mean, I've still got post-Stormblood, and then Shadowbringers, post-Shadowbringers, Endwalker, and then post-Endwalker, plus the Hildebrand quests, and the Tartaru quest. And I've only got, like, another year and a half until Expansion 5 comes out. The stage is set, and the players are assembled. Eorzea has come at last to drive the invaders from her lands. What would Grandfather say if he were here with us today? I don't know, he'd probably smile melancholy and then disintegrate. Because it's the only thing I know that he's done. Cool, let's attune to this Aetheryte, and then we shall call it a night. Alright. Though they've done the cores, they're very hard to do sync. They have a lot of bullshit mechanics. I did the second one a lot during the last Moogle treasure tome thing, because it was the shortest one, and you could do it in like 5 minutes. And I was using that to grind tomes for my what I consider my main costume is my greaser costume, and this jacket is the main part of my greaser costume. So it was time well spent. But feel like it's just pick up a drama called Dad of Light, which is on Netflix. Oh yeah, I read about that. It's South Korean, is it, or Japanese, like documentary about a dad who picked up FF14 to get in touch with his son or something like that. Japanese. I remember hearing about that a while ago, and but I wasn't interested in Final Fantasy 14 at the time. But good shout. It's very, very good. It's a sitcom. Sorry. Yeah, I heard it was good at the time, but I just at the time wasn't into FF14, so I didn't give it much thought. But I should give it a look in now. Let's stare at my face while I wrap up for the day. But going for the Danny Zuko look. It was more kind of a, like I said, I like to think of myself as the Fonz of the final of the Eorzea. I just go around and hit jukeboxes, but the jukeboxes are giant monster gods and robots that get summoned in. I just go along and they go like, get the Fonz in. I just go, hey, bam, and then you know, I use my echo. That was bad, sorry, but you know that's the kind of look I'm going for, and it's I feel that's the kind of feel. Again with Alphino and Alice being the anime protagonist main characters. It wasn't that bad a pun. With Alphino and Alice being like the anime protagonist characters and me being the sort of awkward / cool uncle that follows them around, I feel like it's an apt descriptor. Yeah. Well, I'm going to call it there for the night. We made some good progress. We did a dungeon, which is always good. And I think we're like, let me have a look how many quests we are for the end. So we just did a Pond the Great Lock Show. Got 1, 2, 3, 4. We had literally 5 quests until the end of Stormblood. And Stormblood, the actual quest of it will probably be. There's my sparrow. Will probably be like a good hour because they are. So that will be next week's job. We can finish Stormblood and then roll into the post-Stormblood quests, of which, I mean, again, it's sort of hard to tell just from sort of looking at them, but the post-Stormblood quests don't seem to be as long as the Heavensward ones, but maybe they are, and I'm just misremembering. That's fun, because that means we can get into Hildebrand, which is the second thing I'm playing for after Triple Triad. It basically goes Triple Triad, Hildebrand, main scenario quest. That's the kind of order that I'm playing, in importance of why I'm playing through the game. And I really like the main scenario quest, don't get me wrong. I just like Hildebrand and Triple Triad that much more. So, but they are, but they're very good. Oh, they're not an hour long. Okay, well, that's fine. That'll be next week. So next week we'll finish Stormblood. I'll try and to start at 8:30, but Fridays are always kind of a mixed bag because I have to get work finished and then eat. So sometimes I'll get on a little bit late. But regardless, we'll finish Stormblood next week. Yeah. So the next stream's tomorrow. I said it earlier, but I've got a code for the Dragon Ball Breakers open beta, closed beta, which is from, I think I read it right that it's from 1 till 5 p.m. British time tomorrow. It's 2 till 8 CAST, which I think is 1 hour off. So 2 p.m. CST is 1 o'clock BST. Because we're an hour forward. I don't know. Anyway, so from 1 till 5 tomorrow, I'll be playing Dragon Ball The Breaker, which I played the closed beta before, and it's, I mean, even if you don't like Dragon Ball, it's a fun little game, but if you don't like Dragon Ball, it's probably less fun. But yeah, that'll be what I'm playing tomorrow, and then like I said, I'm going to try and see if I can get Disaster Report working, and we'll play that tomorrow evening. So if I see you then, I will see you then. Otherwise, I will see you when I see you. Thanks for watching, guys. I've been Jack Dandy. You've all been just Dandy. And I shall catch you later. Have a good night, everyone.